Hello and welcome back to Self-Critical, where a group of agoraphobic friends come together and RP actually going outside. I'm your humble dungeon master, Andy Purcell, and this is our group of hapless heroes. Say hello, hapless heroes.
Hello, hapless heroes.
We've got Scott, Wendy, Austin, and Stone coming back with us on this 5th episode of the Witchlight Carnival. Last we left off, our heroes had just helped saving a child that had run off, and they was able to catch him before some painful business got awry. And then they were going to be heading, following behind Veneer as he was making his way over towards the, I believe, what, do you remember what section that was called? The, over there off?
Calliope?
It's a great
Calliope.
The feasting orchard.
Oh.
That's what it was. It was the feasting orchard. With that nat 20 on perception you had rolled at the end of the last episode, you're picking up on part of a one-sided conversation as he's turning that way. He sounds flustered. You see him mentioning something to the point of, it is too early. It is too soon to the big top extravaganza for me to be having to deal with collateral custard damage right now. And as you hear him mumbling that, with your keen senses watching the whole park, trying to just find this mystery kinku in the other direction that you were going to be heading, way across the park, you see near a glass-cased mannequin next to the Hall of Illusions, a small scene take place in which two halflings were standing outside. One of them, his face painted with carnival paint, kneels down to propose. He produces a ring, and when he does, you see her cover her mouth in shock and take a step back, and as she does, she begins laughing hysterically at his proposal, which immediately you can tell with that nat 20, he is just gut punched, and he just grasps the ring and just bolts to the nearest place he can find where he can't be seen, which is within the tent of the Hall of Illusions, right past and underneath the feet of the person outside, a very pale, mute-colored looking mime, who he just bolts right through, and the mime turns to try to get him to punch his ticket, but as soon as he steps past that threshold, he's like, I'm gonna look. And he just goes back to miming. He does the very silent equivalent of, I'm gonna let him go. He's good. You see Veneer heading in one direction, but you see probably the most out of place thing happening in the other direction. What would you guys like to do in this moment?
I'm going to look at the one he was proposing to and see how they're acting after seeing this, and if it looks any bit suspicious, I'm going to throw Hunter's Mark.
In the moment, who are you talking about? Who are you paying attention to?
Not the one that ran in.
Okay, you're talking about the halflings.
Yeah, the one that he proposed to and laughed.
She is currently laughing hysterically, just guffawing uncontrollably at this moment. Anybody else? At the moment, Veneer seems to be heading in one direction, distracted by a conversation.
He was the only one that saw this.
He saw this. Do you mention this to him?
Yeah, I mentioned it to them and said, hey, there's something going over here. I'm going to take a look if anybody wants to follow. If somebody wants to holler at Veneer.
Up to you. If you
Sure.
say anything or if you just go. But currently has his back turned to you and is halfway into a conversation he doesn't want to be having.
But didn't Veneer say follow him? Thought he did. Or are we just following him?
You know, if you don't remember now, it must have not been that important, huh?
Yeah.
We'll go Haven. I'm gonna go Veneer. Some of us are gonna go to the Hall of Illusions right quick. We want to go see something.
You see him, like, in this moment, he seems so caught up in this conversation that he waves you guys off and says, whatever, you know which way I'm going, and you know that the big top is coming. If you don't, the big top extravaganza is going to be within the next hour or so, actually an hour and 15 minutes. So if you're looking for me, I'm going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. So he just keeps walking.
All right, well, let's make this quick.
Okay? Do you want to just run straight? You see how far right? You guys are near, like passing, like right there at the Calliope where
Yeah.
Austin's hand is. You see where the Hall of Illusions is, right?
And it hasn't really taken us that far to get to places.
Right.
It-
You can get there pretty quickly if you're just running. Do you want to just run there, or do you want to be you don't want to draw any attention? Do you want to be stealthy, or do you just want to go?
Depending on what our
I'm
little
gonna
ranger
prob-
friend is doing.
I think we need to kind of be stealthy with this. Just to s-
Brisk pace.
Brisk pace,
Yes.
stealthy.
Brisk
Brisk.
pace.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow up behind him watching in stealthy mode.
Okay. All right. So it seems like the general
Why not?
consensus.
Yeah, I
Brisk
guess
pace.
brisk pace.
Because you're moving at a brisk pace, I'm going to say it takes you about a minute to get across the park to the carnival to where it is. You are currently outside of the tent that is the entrance to the Hall of Illusions. You see, once again, now up close and more clearly, this muted, garbed mime. It's pale grays and greens. Some of you may recognize this description from a little conversation some of you had overheard in the Pixie Kingdom about Candlefoot, the mime. If any of you happen to remember a little bit of tea that had been spilled previously, if not, a little something about how tragic it was, how he was proposing to someone, and mid-proposal, he just stopped talking entirely, and it seemed like the worst gag ever, because it really hurt her feelings, and he's not talked since. So you're standing outside of the Hall of Illusions. You see Candlefoot, the mime. It doesn't seem to be a very popular attraction.
It seems like a theme of bad things happening when people propose right over there.
That is kind of a good observation. You, speaking of, off to the side, you still see the halfling woman. And since it's been about a minute since you've gotten there, you see her hysteria begin to die down.
Mm-hmm.
She's beginning to catch her breath all of a sudden. Is there anything you would like to do in this moment?
Do you want to talk to her?
I'm going to kind of look around and see if there was anybody like maybe being untoward.
Give me a perception check.
All right. 17 plus, so
If anybody else wants to do anything else as well,
that's
can.
22.
Okay, with a 22, you look around. I know what you're looking for, right? It's kind of hard to see anyone in particular who's using disguise self, but I know you're looking for patterns, looking for things out of place. With a 22, you see that no one is going into the Hall of Illusions. This is probably one of the deadest attractions at the moment. You see this female halfling calming down, gathering her senses again. You see the glass-cased mannequin behind her that seems to be part of the attraction. With a 22, I'll even give to you that you're close enough to be able to read the plaque clearly. And this plaque says something to the event of, it speaks,
Was the mime near the?
the mime is
Yeah,
at the
well-
entrance
well-
of the Hall of Illusion. He's at the door. He's the
Well,
one who
before
takes
I
punches
was
to
going to
take
say
place.
before. Is there a way we?
Oh, you mean in the previous story?
Yeah. Was he near the glass doll thing?
You did not with what you rolled last time. I believe it was a 13. You did not get enough of the conversation to catch that.
Because there's something going on.
Let's see.
It is the Hall of Illusions.
Well,
Right, it is the
They
Hall
had
of
a-
Illusions.
proposed near
You
that.
see, with a 22, you see a wooden
the
mannequin
mannequin.
of a grinning, raven-haired young woman in witch's attire and a green flowing cape that hovers inside of the glass cabinet. At the top of the cabinet, a sign reads, Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter. A halfling, this is where you saw the halfling proposal take place. If anyone would like to make a history intelligence check for me.
Sure, why not?
Well, I don't remember stuff at all.
19?
19 plus
19.
1.
Okay.
13.
13. As you see Dahlberg scanning the area for anything out of place, you're looking around, you're just following the group. The two of you happen to notice whenever you see this plaque, Tasha, that's kind of a common name. But with those high rolls, what you also remember, which you may want to write down, is Tasha also goes by the name Igwilf, the Witch King, a legendary archmage.
The what? Wait.
Igwilv, Iggwilv. You happen to know, like, that's one of the, Tasha just happens to be one of the more common names she goes by. But you guys see her standing next to this case. You know what has transpired about a minute ago. You see Candlefoot just going through the motions outside. What would you like to do in this moment?
Why would she be
And
in
real
a place?
quick,
Oh,
Igwilf, after Igwilf was what?
Oh, Igwilv, the Witch Queen.
I figured that's what you meant when you said king.
Yes, the Witch Queen.
I was kind of threw it off.
About
yeah.
this time, you see this halfling female start calling out, Reuben? Reuben, I'm sorry, Reuben!
Alright,
What was so funny? What, like, he was so serious.
When you say that, she begins visibly crying as she says, I don't know. I don't get it.
I'll go ahead and try to go and punch my ticket and go inside and see if I can find him right quick.
Okay. You want to walk right up to Candlestick?
Yeah.
Or Candlefoot to get your ticket punched going. What about you guys? Is there anything you want to do? You want to follow him into the tent? Do you want to talk to the lady? You wanna...
I'm gonna go inspect that plaque.
You know,
Okay.
I want to go. Yeah, let's.
That
Me and him
mannequin?
go.
Inside
Yeah, the
with
mannequin.
Beautiful. As you guys start, do you get your ticket punched?
Yes.
Okay. He, Candlefoot reaches out, making the motions of letting me punch your ticket, and he over exaggerates it as he does it, and lets the two of you in. As the two of you begin walking in, you begin seeing just at the entrance a row of mirrors lining the two sides of the entrance wall, hallway. And as you're looking in these mirrors, the first thing that's obvious as they have some type of illusion magic about them. The first ones you see are you, but a very youthful version of yourself. And as they progress down the hallway, these images grow older and older till your twilight years. Before we get to you guys, Delana, would you be kind enough to describe what a youthful version of yourself looks like?
Let's see, red-headed, green-eyed, rambunctious. She would be wearing like raggedy type clothes and away from being out in the woods playing with a wooden sword and stuff like that.
Okay. As you see Dahlberg stepping forward, you seem to be caught up in the moment as you're seeing this. If you two could give me or each of you could give me I want to say it's a wisdom. A wisdom saving throw, please.
Damn.
Okay.
Them two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
them two.
Oh, no. That was
Drop
an
it.
eight.
Drop it, Austin. Drop it.
8 plus
Ew.
12.
14?
14 total?
Yeah.
12 total? As you two begin walking up to maybe address this lady, maybe just inspect the mannequin case, Onyx feels this wave wash over him of euphoria and glee, dismisses it as just fairy happiness as this wave clashes into Thunderstout, and you just begin laughing uncontrollably to the point that you just brace yourself on your knees. You can't breathe. It is beginning to hurt. For the next minute, you are laughing uncontrollably. Onyx, you're watching this happen. If there's anything you would like to do as this is happening, you can. But for now, your compatriot seems incapacitated and loud.
Snap out of it! Snap out of it! I want to basically just kind of like tap him on his shoulders. Hey, it's magic. I can tell. We got something to do.
As that's happening, you see this female halfling. She is just crying, and she is just wondering why you would be laughing at her in this moment of just heartbreak. It is devastating to her, and she is just hysterical. But she's staying there because she is calling out, Reuben, I'm sorry. Come back, please. Yes, please. Where'd you go? So from that, we're going to cut back to you guys. You guys dart in, and as you cross the threshold past this main hallway, it is a series of mirrors. It is just a maze. Are you just immediately looking for this halfling?
I will be,
Okay.
And do I see any way of the light source?
It is a hall of illusions. It's meant to be dark, and it's supposed to be a maze. There's not like a easy
Gotcha.
light source to get a bead on. Are you going to be as well?
Yeah.
Okay, both of you give me a perception check.
Ooh, that was really good. That's gonna be a 24.
Mine's gonna be a 16.
Okay. In about the course of a minute, right? This winding maze with a 16, you know what? There passes it. Nobody bumps their face directly into a mirror. We're just going to save that for the people who are laughing hysterically outside, I guess.
It's pretty funny.
But with that really high roll, you know how to move stealthy. This is your environment. It's dark. It's creepy. There's illusions going on. This is your deal. And so quickly you duck, you listen, you smell, and you hear the murmuring. You hear murmuring. It's half of a conversation. You're used to that. You've heard Veneer have half of a conversation. Within, like I said, within about a minute or less, you make your way and you round a corner and you see, let's see. You happen to see a halfling, face painted over, left fist clenched. He's gazing worriedly into a mirror, just like all the other mirrors you've seen. But as you get an angle, he's looking at a youthful version of himself. As a little girl in a pig mask is seen whispering into his reflection. When the girl notices your reflections in the mirror, she turns and immediately disappears out of view within that reflection. If you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna hunter's mark that little girl.
How many times can you do that a day?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
And it lasts for 1 hour.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. As she begins to walk out of view, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna look at you and say, tell him what's really going on. Try to let him know that wasn't her acting that way while I go try to find this little girl-looking thing.
All right.
If you can console him and get him out.
All right.
You walk up to this halfling, and he is just staring. At the moment, he is looking at this reflection of this girl with a pig mask walking away hurriedly, and he's like, wait! He doesn't immediately notice you guys. What do you want to do?
Well, try to explain to him why she was laughing, and it wasn't anything against him. Try to get him to come outside with me to get out of there.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try to track that
You're
girl.
going to try to track the girl. You feel her presence on the other side of the mirror.
because it's something I saw.
Is there anything you want to do about that?
Bless you.
I'm thinking real hard. Do I see, is the mirror top to bottom and no way through?
It's a mirror. Unless you try to do something, it looks like a mirror.
Well, if I don't see a way around it to get to her, then I'm gonna break that mirror.
Okay, just a second.
How do you get kicked out one-on-one?
Just break the magical mirror. Nothing bad can
I
happen.
thought it would be something.
No, it's just an illusion thing put on. It's a little spell. It ain't nothing serious.
I thought that'd be something you would do.
Sounds like the true Austin.
You know,
I think it's better to ask him to do arcane
gotta
check.
go with Airbud rules.
Thing,
Doesn't
see
say
the
you
text.
can't do this in the way that it would be done. So, sure, yeah, as long as you maintain concentration, you know that though you cannot see her because she is out of view of the mirror,
Stupid.
you want to break the mirror right in front of this halfling. Yeah, you know what? It's glass. I'm gonna say you just break the mirror. You just shatter the crap out of it. It clatters to the floor into shards.
Does he cut himself?
You don't know. You're just now coming out of laughing.
You go back giggling.
It is a busted mirror on the ground. There's nothing behind it. You feel her presence, but it is because you're concentrating on it. But the presence of this little girl just seems there, but not.
Trapped in the mirror.
Rage or roast.
Does it seem like she might be in another mirror now or anything like that, or is it hard
As
to
you
tell?
look around, you see other reflections of yourself just as normal. It is the same thing that you do not see the girl. This halfling who seems a little hysterical he's kind of agitated at first because this girl walked away. He seems not agitated so much, but give me an insight check. You two.
Please. Oh, that's good.
21?
21. Okay, with a 21, he seems very remorseful that this girl has left. You see him clenching his fist, and he seems very, very suddenly disappointed in seeing this mirror shattered. He looks. He's not sure what to do with his emotions at this moment. You begin to tell him that the laughing outside was just a prank, that she didn't mean it. Give me a persuasion check.
She's not very persuasive tonight.
No.
No,
And
I think it's
That's a 5.
5.
Yeah, 5. And I think that was the girl he proposed to when she was little now.
So what was it, 5?
Yeah.
Okay. The girl did not look like a halfling.
Oh, okay.
It was. It looked like a human girl with a pig mask.
Okay.
You were the only one to see it because you were the first one to get there and get into view as was happening. You begin telling the halfling this. Is there anything in particular you want to say to him specifically, or you just want to just in general say that the laughing was?
Tell him, said, listen, that she was not laughing at you on her own accord. It was magic put on her to make her laugh, to trick you and ruin it for y'all.
He says with a 5, if you want to try to roll a persuasion check, you can. With a 5, at the moment, he's saying that's what that. The girl said that's a lie. The girl said that what I did
18.
was, and you see him beginning to just feel regretful. With an 18, you begin to kind of pull him up out of that slump, and he seems to kind of doubt what this little girl was telling him. At the moment, you don't know what that conversation was. You only heard half of it, but he seems to start to believe you. That are you sure? I mean, are you?
They
how do
just
you
did
know
it to. They just did it
that
to
she-
one of our buddies as we were coming in the door.
The laughing?
Yeah.
Like, is it a spell?
Yes, it's
Yes.
a spell.
Oh, I messed up. Oh no. And you see him begin to turn to run back out as he yells, "Weep pa! and hits his right into the first mirror. He picks himself back up. Let's see. He picks himself back up, and he begins to run back out again.
Slow down a bit.
With a natural 20.
No.
He is not hitting his face on a mirror again. With a quickness that only a few of you have seen a halfling do, he darts for this light and goes. Do you follow behind, or what do you guys want to do in this moment? Mirrors,
I'm gonna
shards
try
of
to track
glass
that
are on the
girl. I'm gonna try to
floor.
track that girl any way I can possibly.
As you
Running through a
concentrate on
hallway
this,
full of glass all over the
you feel
floor.
like as you
No, he
feel that
didn't
there's
slay
a
somebody.
presence of her here,
Mm-hmm.
but your only focal point was this mirror, and when you broke it, it was like that focus is gone. It's like a fuzz of the concept of her because you are holding on to that concentration, but you know that she is here.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like she's in the walls. It's like she's here, but she's not.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting to figure out.
Like on two different parallels.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Every time you begin to walk past a mirror, you feel a little bit of that pull, but it's just a mirror with visions of yourself.
You still.
As you begin making your way outside,
Yeah.
you begin, finally, your lungs, the burning wears down as you begin to pick yourself up. You guys are standing next to this halfling woman. As you see, the halfling man streaks down his face, messing up the paint. He runs straight towards you guys. You see him dashing directly towards her. Probably going to propose. Is there anything you want to do in this moment?
Not here.
Oh.
Not here. It just got him. This little mannequin got him.
Okay.
I wanna do-
Okay. So, okay. Well, what do you want to
I
do?
want to do an arcane check to see if like the mannequin's hexed or something like that.
Yes. Sure.
10 plus 1, 11.
You get the idea with an 11. It's better than average, right? You get the idea that
Something's fucking.
Tasha, a witch,
Something's
something about laughter.
mm-hmm.
People are laughing around this witch. There's probably some spell shenanigans going on. As you see him running straight towards you, and Onyx holds out his hand. Wait, stop. And he digs his heel in because he's not sure why you're telling him to not propose to his fiancée.
If you're going to say something serious, do it away from here, because that little thing over there makes people laugh.
He stops mid-stride, digs his knee into the dirt, and just begins dragging it in as he pulls up his hand, produces the gold ring, and he says, "Ween, Sundapple, will you marry me?" And she holds her hand up again and then just stops and moves her hand from her face so she doesn't accidentally begin laughing again and says, Yes, I will marry you. And just everyone around just begins erupting and clapping and all sorts of merriment and congratulations. If everyone could give me a perception check in this one.
I'll be honest, I thought he was going to fail the wisdom save.
You stopped him.
19.
3.
Okay, you guys are caught up in this moment.
So beautiful!
Tears are in your
It's
eyes.
from the laughing, I promise.
This is a big moment,
Got
but
something in mind.
big moments are when things happen. And that is why you scan, and when you turn, the thing that is out of place now is Candlefoot is an emotional wreck. Though he is not saying anything, he's just ugly crying as silently as possible in this moment. But with that, well, is there anything you would want to do?
Congratulations.
I'm gonna look to see if the thing in the Tasha has moved or anything looks off with Tasha.
Okay. The mannequin still seems to be stationary. It's just hovering there, the cloak kind of magically billowing. right? Everyone seems to be applauding and clapping as a few bystanders come by to congratulate the couple. They just begin laughing and pointing at them as well, looking completely embarrassed in this moment. But that is the moment that we're going to call it for this episode. Thank you for watching, everybody. This episode of Self Critical. You have a great night.
Bye.